of being a human. It's hard work. I have to wake up every day, get out of bed. Like, what the hell? Meanwhile, there are millions of dogs out there that get to spend every waking hour hunched over in the corner of a room licking their assholes. I want to do that. I'm over this whole having opposable thumbs thing. I just want to know once and for all what those lovable furry sons of bitches do every day. I want to truly know what it's like to be an animal. Is there any solution to that? We'll call that Plan B.
You ever sit down to play a game and realize, wow, I hate my life? That's where simulator games come into the picture. These are an entire genre of video games centered around putting you into the shoes of anyone or anything. And with that selling point alone, it's no wonder they're as popular as they are. I mean, hell, the ability to take you out of reality and put you in a brand new environment, those of which can provide unforgettable experiences nearly or flat out impossible to easily replicate in the real world, that's like half the appeal of most video games. Emphasis on most. And there's so many different types of simulator games to choose from. You got life simulators, cooking simulators, farming simulators, driving simulators. Honestly, you can just add a random noun in front of the word simulator and create a smash hit game that someone out there will want to play.
Oh, finally.
But the type of simulator games I want to talk about today are animal simulators. Now, there's already a ton of games out there where you play as animals, but I'm not talking about those. I don't just want to play a game where an animal is the main protagonist. No. I want games that give me a fully immersive look into an animal's daily life. You think I could get that out of Sonic X Shadow Generations? No. Today we're sticking to games that specifically have simulator and the name of some kind of animal in the title, because if I've done the math right, that should give us what we're looking for. For the last 23 years of my life, I've only been scratching the surface of my potential as a living being. If I play enough of these animal sims, I can truly understand what it's like to have less capabilities. It's just like being unemployed.
Well, it's a good thing I'm doing both.
So let's live out my most inner desires by playing Dog Simulator 3D on crazygames.com. First off, gotta ask, what is the point of 3D in the title? I feel like the name Dog Simulator gets the point across just fine as to what this game is. Adding the term 3D just gives me more questions. Like, is there a 2D Dog Simulator you're hiding from me? I mean, how many people went, Dog Simulator 3D? Well, I don't think critiquing the titles of lowbrow PC browser games is gonna get us very far, so let's just jump right into the game. This is Dog Simulator 3D.
Well, they didn't lie. What the hell am I doing here? Being a dog isn't truly what I want out of life. It took me about 30 seconds of playing this game to realize that. That's gotta be a record or something. If I want to lick my own ass, I can just become a contortionist. I'm pretty sure they offer online classes for that. I need to think even more broadly here. There are so many other different types of animals, all with their own simulator games that are just begging to be played. All this time and effort put in by developers to provide a rich and substantial experience of what it's like to live in their shoes. That may not exist, but we can't let what we do have go to waste. Somebody's gotta be brave enough to play these games. And thank God I'm here to take over for that somebody. So, let's move over to my Nintendo Switch and try out some more animal simulator games. That's code for garbage. Which is code for shit. Which then loops back to being code for animal simulator games again. Without further ado, let's play... You know, now that I think about it, I would be more enticed if 3D was in the title.
This is Cat Simulator, and I already have questions. First of all, why is 12 Days of Christmas the title screen music? You're telling me they couldn't get the rights to Oh Little Town of Bethlehem? Second, what is up with this logo? Is this supposed to be a cat? Because if you ask me, it looks more like living proof that just because you can make your video game's logo shaped like the animal it's based on, it doesn't mean you should. So, like most games named Cat Simulator work, we get to pick our cat here. Listen, I'm not one to play in the cliches. I'll go with the orange one. And immediately we're thrown into a farm. I'm assuming this is the same farm that everyone's parents tell them their old pets went to. So this is where cats go after they kick the bucket. That's just my headcanon. So we talk to this cat over here. His name's Matt the cat. And he gives us a list of tasks to complete. Climb onto the roof, hunt the mouse, dig. This is just my 9 to 5. You know, I gotta hand it to the developers for offering a truly immersive experience. It really does feel like I'm a cat that's moving around with stupid fucking awful controls. This game was developed by Nerd Games. Like, I didn't feel self-conscious enough playing this. Doesn't help that the background music just loops the same acoustic guitar track over and over. whatever. Let's just try to polish off this list here. Dig, check. Clean myself, check. Obviously, couldn't have done so without a barrel to sit on. Climb under the roof of the house, check. Jump off without taking fall damage, double check. Do not try that at home, kids. Kill the stupid fucking mouse, check. Good thing he was clipped onto this rock. Alright, I got another question. Why are the sound effects in this game so damn loud? I mean, just listen to this. That's unedited, folks. So we run around the farm some more, come across a dopey-ass looking farmer. That's not on the list. Meet up with a low polygonal cow. Oh, thank God. Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to find a body of water so I can go for a damn swim. Oh God, finally. You know, I would act surprised that the swimming animation looks like this if I was surprised that the swimming animation looks like this. Okay, whatever. We finished the list. Now we go inside this barn and visit what looks to be a cat cult meeting.
Just another Tuesday.
We talk to Carl the cat, alongside Rick the cat, them's my boys, and they acquaint us with the other felines. His name is Rick. Don't care about the BS he speaks.
Okay, that's where I draw the line.
This is supposed to be a family-friendly cat simulator game, and you include the abbreviation for the word bullshit? I can't play this at church now. Oh, am I kidding? I couldn't have done so anyway. So we finished talking to the cats and we're sent off on our merry little way. You know what? Let's go help out the farmer. He seems like a stand-up guy. Are you new here? Jesus Christ, stop yelling. So he asks us to take care of his rat problem. So let's go fucking do it. This is what being a cat is all about. This is the life. Ooh, look, a tractor. Maybe I could get my filthy cat paws on the steering wheel and drive it around. Oh yeah, my mistake for thinking this game could include even a fraction of something actually fun to do. Oh yeah, driving the tractor would break the realism of the game. Oh yeah, because this is so realistic. Whatever, let's just sharpen our claws on this tree. Maybe that'll make me feel less depressed. You ever heard of cow tipping? Try cow jumping. That's right, guys. Cat Simulator for Nintendo Switch lets you jump on cows.
Oh, that's why I should give a shit.
That's it. I'm bored. I'm just gonna climb this tree. I'm not joking when I say this is the most fun I've had with this game. Alright, I'm done. This game controls like ass, it's buggy as hell, the music and sound effects are grating to listen to for more than 5 minutes. I just wanted an authentic cat simulation experience, and this barely met that quota, but like, did it even do that? I feel like a pussy playing this. So all in all, holds up to its name.
You know, in the time that I've been playing this game, I've noticed a distinct lack of 2 people in this room. I can't possibly do any more of this by myself. Playing animal simulator games is just like giving birth. Moral support isn't required, but it sure is recommended. I thought my door was broken.
You a human?
Who's asking?
I'll do the grilling around here, sir.
Oh, thank God!
Word around town is, you're playing some animal simulator games.
Damn, did rumors spread that fast?
Well, as you clearly are a human and not an animal,
Pretty sure those are technically under the same category.
I'm gonna have to ask you to halt participating in this very inappropriate endeavor. That's fancy talk for stop playing them!
What gives you the right to tell me to stop? Who are you anyway?
I'm with the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Oh, wait, I know you guys. You f with those 4-legged critters.
That's our motto.
Well, what are you doing here? I'm not doing anything that would concern you. I'm just about to play a bunch of games that pick animals in peculiar scenarios with questionable gameplay mechanics. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see some certification for that.
Wait a minute. You look familiar. Are you my landlord?
No, why would I want ownership of this piece of shit?
Wow, you sound just like my dad.
Look, my superiors are not gonna like you doing anything with animals. They are currently trying to make it the 8th deadly sin.
What the f? Your bosses are so strict. It's not like I'm over here going, oh, hey, look, I'm gonna eat this burger. Oh, so good. I love the taste of dead cow parts. No, I would never do that. God, bosses are out of control.
Okay, don't tell me when I told you this, but I've always wanted to play animal simulator games.
Ew, what are you, some kind of freak?
I've always wanted to be a goat, but I've never had time to figure it out on my own. So eventually I gave up and I just joined PETA. I figured, hey, it's animal adjacent.
Kind of weird you're telling me your life story, but alright.
They sent me here to shut down your little operation, but maybe we can work out a deal.
I'm listening, he said hesitantly.
You let me play these animal simulating games with you, and I'll let you off the hook with my superiors. Sound good?
Huh, you know what they say, you can't play Crazy Goose Simulator with just one set of hands. Alright, well, where should we start? I'm thinking Goat Simulator. Yeah!
When it comes to animal simulator games that embrace their goofy nature, none quite compare to the original Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator was a viral sensation in 2014, and for good reason. It was a piece of shit You know, around this time, everyone thought the screaming goat meme was the funniest thing on the planet, and I guess by proxy, goats became a hot ticket item in the online space, so anything with the letters G, O, A, and T in it was assured some level of success. No wonder this game sold so well. But don't let its popularity fool you. This game is not your average AAA experience. No, no, no. It's a lot better. See, most big budget games aim to provide you with tons of content, a rich story, riveting characters, huge worlds to explore. Goat Simulator takes all of that a step further and has goats in it.
I'm sold.
Goat Simulator isn't really a game that's meant to be taken seriously. It's supposed to provide you with a silly, goofy, wacky game with a this in it. And by God, it delivers in that department. Eventually, Goat Simulator got a sequel in 2022. I can only imagine goat interest had reached abnormally high levels that year. And for this hotly anticipated sequel, the developer Coffee Stain Studios decided to do the unthinkable. And suck at counting. Yeah, the second game in the Goat Simulator series was named Goat Simulator 3 because funny haha. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, the title of the game is fairly superfluous to the actual gameplay experience, but that doesn't stop people like me from bitching about the fact that we never have and most likely never will get a proper Goat Simulator 2. Somebody's gotta lead the protests. But enough stalling. Let's jump right into Goat Simulator. The Goaty. Get it? It's like Game of the Year, but with goat.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
See, right when you boot this game up, you can automatically tell that the developers at least gave a tiny shit. There's multiple modes to explore with a neat looking menu setup, letting us get a closer look at what each mode has in store for us. Yet when your standards are already low, it doesn't take much to impress. Best way to describe Goat Simulator is a free roaming sandbox chaos game. The main goal of the game is to walk around and commit heinous acts as a goat. That's pretty much all you can do and all you're supposed to do. I'd be content thinking this is actually what it's like being a goat if I didn't know better. I don't know better. And the physics in this game are wacky as hell, but that's kind of the point. Goat Simulator would not be very fun if it had to abide by real-world laws of physics. Well, I'll be damned. There are objectives to complete, but they're basically just here to give the game some kind of structure. It's completely up to the player if they want to follow these objectives. There's not much incentive to do so other than just being able to check off a box. Like this one. Now what? There's a point system reminiscent of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater because sure. Again, it's just a feature they added to make it feel like you're doing something of worth while playing this game. Joke's on them, it didn't work. So you may be asking, if there's really no point to any of this, what's the point of any of this? Why are there multiple modes? Well, it's the same idea as wearing a different pair of pants from the pair you wore the previous day. It gives everything you're doing a different feel. Also, I shit myself while wearing these. Each mode offers a different campaign to play through, which can change up the gameplay style, the objectives, the world you explore, etc. The gameplay is pretty much always the same at its core, but these modes do offer the feeling of variety. Goatville is the most vanilla mode, offering a pretty basic map to explore. Goat City Bay offers a more expansive map with different objectives and more locations to cause chaos in. It's assumed to be a parody of the Grand Theft Auto series, with the logo for it mocking the logo for Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and the mode as a whole giving across majorly similar vibes. See, Grand Theft Auto has cars, this mode has cars, they're basically one and the same. Thank God for Goat Simulator giving GTA more exposure. I say to you again, no wonder this game sold so well. Now, these two modes were the only ones included in the base Goat Simulator game from back in the day, but lucky for us, we're playing the Game of the Year edition, which comes with every new mode released as paid DLC. Yes, Goat Simulator got paid DLC because why wouldn't I want to throw more money at this? So let's see if all these extra modes are worth a damn. First up, there's Goats Before Outbreak and Goats After Outbreak, which are zombie apocalypse themed. Each mode offers a different perspective on said apocalypse, with one representing before and the other representing after, in case you couldn't figure that out on your own. After Outbreak gives you various survival tasks and objectives involving killing zombies, despite you also being a zombie. I got bored in Before Outbreak and quit after 2 minutes. There's Waste of Space, which is sci-fi themed.
Finally, this combines my two favorite things, goats in space!
This, like the name implies, takes place in space, so obviously you know they had to take advantage of the setting. We got some even wackier physics at play here, coupled with some silly things you can do to your goat, like give it a big head. See, wacky shit like this doesn't seem so wacky when the game as a whole is wacky to begin with. At least I wrote a segue. I can shit on this mode all I want, but I played it long enough to make over $19,000. That's gotta mean something. There's Goat MMO Simulator, which gives off major Skyrim vibes. Take it from me, someone who's never played Skyrim in their entire life. You can customize your character and everything. Let's go with the microwave. See, this is the real reason I bought this game. The goat stuff was just a consolation prize. There's Payday, which has goat gambling.
This game has it all.
The most unique feature of this mode is that there's 4 different characters you can swap between on a whim. There's a goat, a camel, a manatee in a wheelchair. What the f***, a camel? And a flamingo, which is the most fun to play as. I mean, you can fly. Just serves as a reminder who the truly superior beings are. Oh, I'm not talking about birds. I'm talking about the Goat Simulator developers. What else does this game have? Well, there's the credits, so we know who to press charges on. Yeah, that's pretty much all this game has to offer, but honestly, this is already more than what I would expect out of a game like this. Sure, all these modes are basically just the same thing with different garnish, but I can't help but admire even just the small bits of work they put into them. I think what really makes this game is the self-awareness of it all. Like, it's dog shit, yeah, but it's supposed to be dog shit. You don't buy this game for a The Last of Us type experience. It's like, you don't go to McDonald's for a gourmet dinner. You don't go to McDonald's for a gourmet dinner. No, you buy this game to boot it up, dick around a little as a goat, and hop right out. It's not supposed to stimulate your mind, it's supposed to give you a quick boost of serotonin when you're all out of cigarettes. And if that's all this game is supposed to do, it does so pretty wonderfully. If it wasn't already obvious enough, these animal simulator games aren't typically at the top of the food chain, but rather than crumble under the pressure of trying harder than it needs to with the hopes of offering something of great quality, Goat Simulator plays the hand it's given and cements itself as honestly one of the most fun games of its genre. Well, if this was fun enough for me to praise, surely we can only go up from here. F*** gravity. Crazy Goose Simulator. What does that mean? Is the Goose Simulator crazy, or are we simulating a crazy goose? Be more specific. You know, this title screen doesn't look half bad. Let's see the actual game. Now that looks half bad. So we get to run around this farm, much like any goose would. Finally, I've always wanted to go cow tipping as a goose. I really need to redefine my priorities. So right away, our main objective is to get 4,777 points. Why 4,777? Simple, it was the number that came up when the developers slammed their hand on a keyboard. So how do we gain points? We wreak havoc and destroy things, of course.
Whoa, that goose sure is crazy.
You know a game's good when these are the scores you're working to improve. Number of quests completed, number of things destroyed, number of captured people. Do you think geese leave ransom notes? Well, let's see if I can bump up this score. I continue to run around the farm, completely demolish this greenhouse. Then I guess I ran too far from the main area and started a completely new task. Okay, let's destroy 30 objects. Object number 1. You know, at this rate, we're gonna finish this up in no time. All right, we completed that goal. Now we gotta cross this pond. Huh. Listen, asking the Crazy Goose Simulator developers to create an actual distinguished animation for the goose wading in this lake would just be too much. They already broke their back coloring this text to yellow. Alright, we gotta capture 4 people. I sure hope the feds aren't watching this. Apparently, this game's definition of capturing is just knocking them over, which definitely makes things easier, even though it kind of just feels like I'm killing these people. Ha! Look at this idiot.
Hey, goose murder is no laughing matter.
Well, do you mean geese murdering people or geese getting murdered?
What the f*** were we just talking about?
Alright, we finished up this task, and then another one revolving around capturing people, and with these as my final stats, I think I'm finally done playing this game. Listen, I'm about to drop a major truth bomb. You may not be ready. Crazy Goose Simulator isn't very good. You know what they say, birds of a feather fucking stink. See, this game gives me exactly what I expect out of these animal sims. A half-assed development job with barely any quality. Thank you for meeting my expectations. This game makes me feel groggy. It feels like they're just trying to copy what Goat Simulator did to make itself memorable, but it just falls flat. Yeah, you can score points and cause chaos as a goose. A crazy goose at that. But Goat Simulator had wacky physics and all this random junk you could do to make your score go up, and this game just feels stiff and naked in comparison. You think if I harshly critique a game that was never meant to be anything worthwhile for a long enough time that I'll win some kind of award? Well, just in case something like that is on the line. F this game. God, I just want a quality experience solely centered around being a bird. Is that so much to ask? Yup, this is Pigeon Sim - Bird Simulator. You know, anytime I'd see a pigeon out on the street, I'd always think to myself, God, I just wish I could live a day in their shoes. pigeons don't wear shoes. So after feasting our eyes on this masterclass of a title screen, we're able to jump right into the game, where we begin in a city. Off to a good start. You know the old saying, pigeons and cities go together like birds and people that like birds. Alright, we can walk around, fly, peck at stuff. This is as authentic of a pigeon simulating experience as I can imagine in my puny little brain. Ooh, look, a gun, just out here in the open. I wonder what we can do with this.
What the hell? This is so unrealistic. Nobody would wear that in public.
Yeah, one of the main things you're able to do in this game is pick up guns and practice that good old Second Amendment. I never read the Constitution. You might think I would criticize the lack of realism with this mechanic, but I interpret this to be the developer's interpretation of what pigeons would like to do to humans. Never show an actual pigeon in this game, it might get their mind racing. So we're able to pick up any gun we see lying out in the middle of the city and use it to wreak havoc in order to rack up points. You know, I'm starting to notice a pattern with these games. They all fucking suck. We can also steal cars in this game. Yeah, that's right. Not only is this pigeon authorized to use firearms, but he's got his learner's permit too. Nothing you say could convince me to not be impressed by this. Wreaking enough havoc on the innocent civilians will eventually cause the cops to show up and shoot at us. We can kill them to boost our star rating. Wow, could this be any more blatant plagiarism? Should have seen the working title. Yeah, if it wasn't already clear, this game is a pretty blatant ripoff of Grand Theft Auto, because why wouldn't it be? It's like all these animal sim game developers just looked at Goat Simulator and said, alright, shitty open sandbox game where you cause chaos to get points. Let's f***ing do it! What do we have to lose? Dignity? Well, you can't lose what you didn't have. I'm actually glad these developers didn't try to make something completely original here, because who knows what kind of horrors they would have came up with if they did. Well, what is original about this game? There's a fart meter. This game's release truly was a turning point for humanity. There was a distinct lack of pigeon games with fart meters beforehand. This game is just dumb. Do I really need to elaborate? I'll just pretend you said yes. There's no point to anything. You just walk around and shoot random civilians to rack up your score until the cops kill you. But it's not hard to stay alive. You can just fly away from them at any moment as long as you have enough stamina. And when the cops finally do kill you, Jesus Christ. You can find tacos lying around, and eating them helps you fill up your fart meter, which, brace yourselves, amounts to nothing. You can fly around, which is kind of fun, but it's extremely limited. Like I said, you gotta have enough stamina, which runs out way too quickly. It feels like they wanted to make a GTA clone and also a Goat Simulator clone, and instead of trying to make one or the other and make something of actual value, they just mashed them together and half-assed both. The map in this game is small and boring as hell, which makes it really uninteresting to explore. The art for the game on the eShop just makes no sense. Like, this never happens in the game. I could go on, but nah, I'm good. At least they put out DLC that allows you to play as a lady pigeon.
That's what the game was missing!
Or you could get the premium edition of the game, which comes with the DLC already included, for $14 total. This game is constantly on sale for like $2, and the DLC separately is like $4, so really, what's the better deal here? Smashing this bat on my head is free. Alright, these last couple games have been nothing short of a big pile of shit. We need something with a little more quality, and also something that'll satisfy my most recent desire.
God, I just wish I was a bee. Whoa, dude, what are you doing? Oh.
Bee Simulator for Nintendo Switch. Yeah, checks out. Right off the bat, you can tell a lot more effort was put into this game than what's par for the course with these animal sims. We got multiple language options, a nice opening cutscene, voice acting? I didn't even know that was possible for one of these games. Well, it's a good thing they actually gave a damn about this game, because for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted a video game that serves as an accurate representation of bee life. I just want to cut the bullshit and get knee deep into this thing. I want to play as a bee and only as a bee. If this game's gonna have the audacity to just be named Bee Simulator, it better maintain its focus. So we get to pick our profile and wait a minute, that's not a bee!
What the f***?
Okay, it's fine. I'll let it slide. It's like they always say, nobody's perfect. We get to pick the difficulty. I'll go with hard, because I'm not a bitch. And we're dropped into the hive. I name myself Beatonio. What, did you think I was capable of coming up with something more clever? Look at me. Yeah, this is pretty much what I would expect the inside of a beehive to look like. Listen, I'm not saying this game's graphics are anything groundbreaking, but you gotta admit, it's decent enough. Personally, I think this game actually has a pretty neat visual flair. Translation, it doesn't look like this. Oh my god. This might be the first one of these games I've played that's actually attempting to simulate what it's really like to be the animal it's about. Am I dreaming? I'd be concerned if my dreams looked like this. but not as concerned as you'd think. So in the starting area, we're introduced to all the main mechanics of the game, including collecting pollen, our ability to speed ourselves up mid-flight using a tactic called B-Tro, B-Vision. Okay, so maybe they're not going for accuracy in every department. I mean, to be fair, I can't prove that bees don't have this. We got these cute little loading screens between areas featuring fun little bee facts and brain teasers to ponder about while you're waiting. The average worker bee only produces about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her lifetime. How many bees for a jar of honey?
Oh, I know this. Finland!
Damn, I should have studied for this. After talking to our bee life consultant, as well as the queen bee, we're finally given the ability to fly out of the hive into the human world. God, look at this cutscene. I don't want to oversell this game, but this is way more visually interesting than it really needed to be. They put some genuine effort into this. I can't express how much I appreciate that this isn't completely half-assed. So, in the main area, we're given the privilege of flying around a relatively expansive open space and complete various missions. We get to talk to Sick Bee Jackie, the highest honor, and we're introduced to the main gameplay styles in this game. First up, there's Follow, which can be described as fly through the rings and chase the insect. We take a peek inside this picnic basket and uh-oh.
You nosy little bee!
You, Wasp Avery! And we now get to try the next gameplay style, fighting. This has a surprising amount of complexity considering it's bee fighting. You got a health bar, stamina, multiple attacking styles, block mechanics, a special meter, which is the bare minimum you could expect from a typical fighting game, but this is fucking bee simulator. It's like you don't expect a dog to be able to tie its shoes. God, I just can't get a hold of this fighting gameplay. I don't feel like a bee, I feel like a bitch.
Why can't you be both?
Okay, I got a little better, and now I'm able to kick some serious bee ass in this game, so, you know, I can die happy now. The next mechanic we're made aware of is our ability to eat food. That's pretty much all I could have asked for from this game. You can fly up to random people and sting them if you're an asshole. That's pretty much all I could have asked for from this game. We return to the hive, go to the bee library, the library for bees. We're introduced to one last variety of gameplay, bee dancing. You can't have a bee simulator game without bee dancing. This is a pretty simple match the action type minigame thing, but like, it's inoffensive, and at this point, we're pretty much just able to fly around and do whatever we want, which equates to taking on various tasks in which we switch between chasing something, fighting something, dancing, or collecting pollen. Listen, I could complain about the repetitive nature of Bee Simulator's gameplay, but if I really had a problem with it, I think I just have a problem with bees to begin with. I'm not saying I don't. Well, if the single player campaign is too monotonous for you, we do have local multiplayer included, which is a pretty nice touch. Gives a little bit of spice to couch co-op arguments.
I'm a better bee than you.
No, you're not. I'm a better bee.
I'm a better
No,
bee.
no.
Too bad the multiplayer sucks. Like, it's not bad. It's just not very fun. It's completely comparable, at least from the little that I played of it. It's just not really compelling in the same way that the single player is. Like, you get objectives, but they don't feel as necessary to complete. The most you can gain from this mode is flying around as a bee with your buds, and bee blood matches. Overall, this might be the most polished quality experience we've seen yet from one of these games. It's a shame I'm not 5. This game feels tailor-made for a younger audience, which isn't a bad thing. It's great to have games like this, especially with the multiplayer aspect. You have a game perfect for kids to play with their parents. At its core, this is a relatively simple, easy to understand game, but like, I would be remiss to not acknowledge the amount of effort and polish this game had that it very easily could have not had. Especially with the varying styles of gameplay, there's a whole ass story mode included with objectives that you get points for completing, which you can then redeem for in-game costumes. This is genuinely commendable. But when you try to sit down and seriously play this as an adult with no incentive of using it as a means of bonding with your children, I mean, you might as well have just handed me a gun, man. Don't get me wrong, I could see myself getting legitimate enjoyment out of this when I was a kid. Keep in mind, this was me as a kid. Moving back to good old mammals, let's try this. Raccoon Adventure Animal City Simulator 3D Farm Super
I'm completely lost.
Deluxe.
Oh, I get it now.
Why is the title of this one so goddamn long? I know I bitched about a bunch of the other games' titles, but this is like a whole new level of egregious. You can get rid of like 70% of the words in the title and it would get the exact same point across. Alright, a shitty looking animal simulator game that pretty much does the bare minimum to provide an experience that emulates what it's like to be the animal in question? Welcome back, old friend. So we crawl our way through this opening area and try to avoid the wolves. Well, this shouldn't be too hard. I'll just Okay, I died. Let me just get my bearings on the controls here, and I died again. Okay, third time's the charm, and damn it! Okay, I can do this. I just gotta be sneaky, and wait, no, damn it! Shit. Why is it so hard to just get past the opening area? What, they couldn't have made the wolves like 2% slower or something? If this is really the kind of shit that raccoons go through, I owe them a huge apology. I was a part of the raccoons movement of 2019, which, come to think of it, might have given people the wrong idea. Okay, I finally made it through the beginning of the game, and what do I do now? Like, there's a direct pathway for me to follow, but I can't figure out where I'm supposed to go. If I go this way, I just get killed by another wolf, so I'll go this way instead, but there's this stupid contraption that I can't figure out how to work. Okay, I finally did it, and I got a mushroom, so I walk all the way back, then feed the mushroom to the fox, which I think is supposed to be able to help me fight out the wolf so I can get past him, but he doesn't do a damn thing. Why the is there a health bar when the wolves kill me in one hit? You know what? This might be the meth talking, but I'm just gonna say it. I don't care for Raccoon Adventure Animal City Simulator 3D Farm Super Deluxe. Oh, he did not just say that.
Alright, I think we're done here.
What do you mean? There's so many more games to go through. There's Bee Simulator in Spanish, Wolf Simulator RPG Survival Animal Battle, Bee Simulator in French.
No, I've seen enough. We've played way too many animal sims for anyone's liking around here.
You're the one that wanted to play them in the first place. Why are you so against them all of a sudden?
What can I say? I live for justice and laying down law.
What is that supposed to mean? Wait a minute. You are my landlord!
I'm not your landlord. I'm the landlord. Of you.
Why did you come here posing as a PETA representative?
I knew it was the only way you'd let me in your home without prior notice.
Damn it, I fell for the oldest trick in the book!
As punishment for your stupidity, I'm revoking your privileges to this establishment.
Why? What did I do wrong?
The lease agreement clearly states that playing animal simulator games is severely against apartment guidelines.
You were encouraging me to play them!
That was obviously a test, and not only did you fail, you didn't pass.
Well, why on earth would you need to test me?
Don't question my methods.
I think I've earned the right to do so today.
Oh, quit your whining. It's not like I needed a reason to kick you out so I could raise the rent by a steep margin for the next resident.
Huh?
Okay, you caught me. That's exactly why I did it.
You son of a bitch! You set me up!
Hey, that is absolutely true, and yes, I did do that.
You can't do this. I'll hire lawyers. I'll take this to court. I won't rest until I'm given what's mine.
I'm the landlord.
Damn it, that's a good point.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna have to ask you to pack your things and go.
Fine. Do I at least have time to find a new place first?
Nope.
So, the PETA representative, who turned out to be my landlord in disguise, coerced me into playing a bunch of animal simulator games with him just to end up forcefully evicting me from my apartment. I hate when that happens. He did relocate me to this new place about an hour away from my old apartment, and I got to keep most of my old stuff. Sadly, that didn't include my autonomy. Well, I wanted to know what it was like to be an animal, and instead I got ripped from my current home to then be placed in a new home that I didn't ask for, which I will now be living in for the foreseeable future. I'm sure there's a metaphor there somewhere. This may not be where I expected my life to go, but if there's one thing that I've learned from today, it's that sometimes you gotta roll with the life you have. I was more than eager to leave my human life behind to experience the wondrous world of being an animal. I was desperate for it. Desperate enough to play Crazy Goose Simulator. And that's pretty damn desperate. Yeah, most of these animal simulator games were pretty damn terrible. Even the good ones weren't great. But they all reminded me of something important. You gotta appreciate the life you were privileged enough to have. Even when times get tough and you wish you could live another life, sometimes you just gotta push through and persevere. It's easy to take the things you do have for granted, but you don't want to let that go too far. Yeah, this isn't where I thought I'd be right now, but I have a roof over my head and food on the table. I'd be remiss not to appreciate that. So, I guess these games really did have some sort of value in reminding me how shitty things could really be. Well, now that I'm pretty firmly situated here for a while, I have a couple of options for what I could do with my time. I could make do with the current life I've been given, play more animal simulator games, or it always comes back to this.